Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. What an amazing day it has been for DC. Yesterday we had Wonder Woman 84 galore pictures, behind the scenes, official pictures from Clay Enos, and now today it's Aquaman's turn because Entertainment Weekly got their exclusive first look at Aquaman right on that big title page, right in the front. It's Aquaman right there. His mom, played by Nicole Kidman, Mara to the right next to him. Wow, what a wow! I mean, look at the colors are real popping. Mara has, it's the different type of wear that she had from the Justice League. She doesn't have her crown yet. Aquaman looking really badass in that, and man, it is amazing, really cool looking stuff. It looks very comic booky. It's very comic booky this time around, almost straight from the pages. I'm really amazed by this, and I'm really excited to see. Hopefully that first trailer comes out tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. But someone noticed this right away, is that he's wearing the vest, right? He's wearing the vest that they've only shown in Justice League. Now this could be his just traditional what he likes to wear in any case. So it does, you won't get, not too excited about that, but it's got the chain and everything just like how he had in Justice League, in the Snyder cut version of the Justice League. In any way, in those trailers that came from the scene where they're around the mother box, he did have that vest, the way, that same look to him. So not saying that that's anything to read too much into, but I thought someone who pointed that out was very interesting indeed to see that. Also, I notice his eyes are much more normal, except for the front picture, the Entertainment Weekly cover picture. It does have that glow again, but in the other pictures it looks pretty normal. So he may not have those weird glowy type eyes that was present in Justice League, or maybe that only happens when he's really using his power. Who knows? But these pictures are amazing. Black Manta, look at that helmet, man. That looks straight from the comics. Straight from the comics. I mean, it's a side view, so if we go to the other view, you can actually see it's more oblong, but right now it looks very circular. But it could be extruded on the sides, and it's because it's pictured from the sides. But that is amazing in itself. It looks pretty fantastic. It looks smaller than how you think in comparison to his head, but it can't be that. They have to do some sort of change, but at least that is really amazing stuff. I cannot wait to see that in action, him fighting with the helmet and everything. But of course the main bad guy is going to be Ocean Master, Orm himself, and this picture, oh my god, this picture looks great. I love how it's always the fighting colors, the difference between the colors, the balance of the blue and the orange. If you look at like Transform posters or all those blockbuster posters, you always notice that blue, contrasting blue and orange, always gets your eyes very appealing to the eyes, makes it really pop out. And that's the image that you see here with Aquaman and Ocean Master. And I'm gonna guess that Ocean Master, Orm, he's actually holding that helmet in his arm, right in his hand. It looks like it, and so we'll get to see Ocean Master look like Ocean Master from the comics, just like how they're doing Black Manta looks like Black Manta from the comics, or at least his helmet. We can't wait to see the rest of the costume out in front and center. But it was coming out. They hit the first few leaks, then more pictures were released as Entertainment Weekly was releasing, where people were catching them. You see this area where James Wan is there, Mara looking really hot and fine, and Aquaman there again with the vest. and this is underwater. This is apparently underwater. They're gonna talk like normal. They're gonna look like normal. I guess their hair, I don't know, would be flowing or not. Let's see. We'll find out. But I'm very interested to see what them talking underwater will be like. Is you're gonna see air bubbles or anything like that? That would be so cool. The visual effects of this is gonna be off the wall, off the charts. Very amazing. And Mara, her hair is really red this time, like really red, which is like the comics, is exactly like the comics. So James Wan seems to be really trying to make it appeal to the comic book crowd. Of course, Jeff Johns had a hand in the writing for this, so we'll probably see a lot of his interpretations of the comics within this, especially like the Unite the Seven Kingdoms and things like that. So very much like I don't know, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones type of material in there. I'm only guessing. I'm not I'm not too very involved with the Aquaman, but I read a little bit about it. And you see here a picture with Nicole Kidman and what probably is Thomas Curry there, and she's holding Jason Momoa's, the big Arthur Curry there. So a lot of that. So definitely we'll probably have a lot of that family things too, which just seems really prominent so far in the DC Extended Universe, right? You got Kal-El with Jor-El, Jonathan Kent, that father type thing going on, even with Martha with his own mother, and also Wonder Woman, she has a little bit with her mother, and now we're gonna have Aquaman. Well, Bruce's parents, died right at the beginning, but Aquaman will have some type of relationship with his mother, possibly a little bit with his father as well, something like that. And I think that's a really standout within all the DC movies, is that all these gods came from somebody and they learned from their own parents, or their journey is starts with their own familial with their parents and their family. So I think that's kind of cool and great to see that type of trend go further with Aquaman, and properly more in other movies like The Flash, like especially The Flash, right? He becomes The Flash. And a lot of his background story is with his mom dying and his father going to prison. So see that whole concept of fathers and mothers and their child and the tragedies behind that seems prominent within the DCEU or this DC in general. So I think like they're tapping into that as part of their origin story. But I am really looking forward to this. This is really fantastic stuff. And also, I did say that Rupert Gregson Williams is back to score, or has already scored Aquaman. It's probably scoring now Aquaman, and that is exciting because he did a fantastic job on Wonder Woman. The action reaction music at the end, that is incredible stuff. I love the Gregson Williams. His brother Harry is also one of my favorites, and I can't wait to hear Aquaman's theme song, right? We didn't hear Aquaman's theme song in Justice League. We heard Danny Elfman's something, but we didn't hear his theme. So I'm really interested and excited to hear what Rupert Gregson Williams has in store for Aquaman. What is his theme going to be? What is that soundtrack is going to be like? Are we going to hear it in the first trailer? I hope we hear it in the first trailer, but I hope it's just as good and great as Wonder Woman's theme, what Hans Zimmer did with Wonder Woman's theme, and what Rupert Gregson Williams did with that Hans Zimmer theme, and expanded into the huge soundtrack and score. And the action, I said action reaction is one of my top favorite scores within the DC films. I listen to it's really good, especially at the end and the ending credits with the animation stuff. I totally could see that, underwater animations, things like that. So Aquaman's coming out, and more about that, by the way, the whole underwater world, sea monsters and sea creatures and wars and fighting and the trench, and it's like, oh man, what is this? This is going to be some huge fantastic fantasy underwater adventure. I am very, very excited. This is going to be a great ending for the year. A big blockbuster like Aquaman is sure going to be really, really good, hopefully. They seem confident in it. The company is very confident in it, and they're thinking this is going to be the one to right that ship in any way, that lull that we've had since Justice League, and I think they're right. I think this is going to be it, and it'll show. Now, the Aquaman trailer, I'm really wondering what the direction is with that. Is it like a true origin, or is like a flashback? There were reports and rumors that it was like a sequel to Aquaman, a sequel to Justice League rather, but you know, maybe they're not going to even mention Justice League. Who knows? I'm very curious to what type of timeline is this. Is this you know, his mother is still there, so he's definitely supposed to be after before Justice League, because in Justice League she already died apparently. So this would probably be before that, but there are rumors saying it was after, so it's I'm very intrigued to see where they're going to take Aquaman, but I'm really excited. Hopefully there is a trailer tomorrow. I'm really banking on a trailer tomorrow. I want to wake up like this morning, wake up to a whole slew of Aquaman. I want to wake up to an Aquaman trailer. That's what I want to get. That's what I want to do. You know, there's a lot of hints and rumors that it's going to be on Friday. But, you know, if it comes out the MTV Movie Awards, that's okay too. But it should be soon. I mean, they did say it's in Europe, that it was going to come out in a few days. Well, it's been a few days. Let's just say that's been a few days. Now, that's not the only big news today. AT&T and Time Warner actually finally, AT&T finally bought Time Warner. It's acquired. They've done the doing. It was pretty quick. I think they were just waiting for the judge's appeal before even signing off on things. But now that the judge had ruled in their favor, everything's done. It's ready. They're all paid for, I guess, and they're ready to go. So AT&T has taken over Time Warner, bought Time Warner, and some people were concerned about what that would transpire. Well, AT&T CEO put out, his name Randall Stevenson, had put out a memo to all AT&T and Time Warner employees worldwide. This is what he had to say. It's been a long time coming, but well worth the effort. AT&T and Time Warner are now one company, a truly modern media company that will create the best entertainment and communications experience in the world. To our new Time Warner colleagues, including HBO, Turner, and Warner Brothers employees, welcome. As different as our businesses are, I think you'll find we have a lot in common. Like you, we take immense pride in what we do, and we have a passion for always doing the right thing and supporting our communities. We're big fans of your talent and creativity, and you have my word that you will continue to have the creative freedom and resources to keep doing what you do best. Now, I'm a little bit skeptical about especially CEOs when they say, and you have my word. And you know what, in business, if the money is not good or something happens, there's always going to be changes. And so I think right now it's really a letter just to tell the employees, please don't quit. Don't go to any other company. We're going to take care of you. This merger is not a big deal. You won't lose your jobs. Don't start quitting. Don't stop working. So happens any time of these mergers. They want to make sure their company is relaxed and don't get get scared or anything like that. So they always will say that. Now, like I said, there will be changes, and you won't probably see them for a few months, if any. And it usually will be things that from the top, and then you'll see some people start to let go. You'll see that jobs who are pretty much the same, they'll find a way to let someone go there. Like if someone had the same position as the other person, then they'll find which one's the better candidate for that and let one of them go. So yes, Kevin Tsujihara is one of those top leading executives that have the same jobs as others, although there are separated. There are about 3 of them, so who knows what's going to happen to one of them or all of them, so we'll see in a few more months. But so don't get too, scared or things about Warner Brothers right now. I think what they're doing is right. There, he says is right there. They're not gonna right now, not gonna do anything part of the creative content, with the creative part aspect of Time Warner. They're not part of that. They're like a separate and business entity right now because they don't know what to do with that. They don't have really much experience in that realm, so they'll let Warner Brothers, Time Warner, do what they do best, and that makes creating content, and AT&T will utilize that content. But things could always change when money is involved, right? So I think this will be a great time for Walter Hamada to show what he can do, right? He's got to show that he's going to make this work and make everybody happy. I know Gabriel Groy had put out today, very similar to what I've explained in my last video, about it's a possibility that they're doing DC Dark. They're doing two universes, one for gritty movies, maybe R-rated movies, things that are out of the actual DC, and then you got the DC. So there's two different universes. Let's call it DC Light and DC Dark. Might as well. Why not, right? So I think Walter Hamada is playing it very greatly, very perfectly, trying to make these different people happy, make sure that they have enough content for AT&T to look at, and make enough money for Time Warner to show that his job is secure, and it says we're successful, and that way AT&T will keep out of, will just say, all right, well, their numbers are doing good, so let's concentrate on other things that are not doing too well. So I think Walter Hamada's got a big job ahead of him, but if he is really the man with the plan, then I think he's able to do it. I think he'll be able to work it, and hopefully that includes a Zack Snyder, right? Zack Snyder did post today in a question to a user named Maruf Hussein. Maruf Hussein had asked him, at Zack Snyder, was the Doomsday in BVS the original Doomsday? I know there was an Easter egg in the Man of Steel DVD that said, be aware of Burton's curse. I was curious and want to know what was Doomsday actually created before, and the Zod Doomsday was a different one from the one the scientist Burton created. And of course Zack Snyder did reply to that, and he says yes, the real Doomsday is out there still, which we kind of figured when we actually watched the film. When you're watching the film, there are certain cute elements within Batman v Superman that actually suggest that that's not the real Doomsday, because remember the computer, the Kryptonian ship, she actually said to Lex Luthor when he was trying to make Zod into Doomsday, he said that it's been decreed by the Council of Krypton that none will ever again give life to deformity so hateful to sight and memory, the desecration without name. And that kind of implies that they've done that before. Let's not do it again. And he pretty much bypassed that and made sure he did it again. So that explains that it's really possible that Doomsday, another Doomsday, maybe a darker Doomsday, had existed before, or there's multiple Doomsdays. Now, we did hear about that from Total Film, that there was an article about Steppenwolf survived the battle with Doomsday, although Stephen M. Colbert at Screen Rad did kind of debunk, saying that that wasn't actually for the film. The article, the writer probably took it from different elements from Wikipedia and things like that in order to write that article, so that's a possibility as well. But in any case, Zack Snyder is confirming that Doomsday that we see in Batman v Superman is not the Doomsday, but it is a version of Doomsday, or how Doomsday could a version of Doomsday. And Lex Luthor called him Doomsday because he figured it was Superman's doom, day of doom. So that is interesting. That means maybe we could potentially see a Doomsday, a real Doomsday versus Superman battle. Although, would that be repeating itself if Superman died again, or how is that will work? Who knows? But in any case, if you weren't happy that Doomsday was portrayed as not enough bony extrusions and stuff like that, well, now you can be pretty happy that the real Doomsday is still out there, and they didn't actually blow their load with Batman v Superman in terms of the Doomsday arc. if that is any consolation. So maybe we'll get more of that. Maybe we should have had a little bit more hinting about the Snyder cut. Well, today there was no real hint of the Snyder cut. Zack Snyder did post a picture of himself in 1992 of his haircut when he filmed his music video, and he looked, really. He looks like something a rock band back in the 90s. And Fiona just put it out there as a joke about, oh, maybe this is a tease for the director's cut. And that's really funny and all. No, nothing serious. But you know what? Zack Snyder did like it though. Huh. Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. I hope you get an Aquaman trailer tomorrow. Crossing our fingers. What did you think of all this news? Let me know down below. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.